Okay, here's another video on the advertising guide and as related to orthodontics in Alberta. So here's a listing. It says something to the effect implying or expressing faster treatment is better, such as one appointment crowns, faster orthodontic treatment, and quick tooth whitening. Well, let's see. So we're saying the ad guide says we can't say it's faster treatment's better. So that's one thing, but what if they say you can't even talk about fast treatment? So in my case, as a general dentist, they said even mentioning fast treatment implied I was a specialist. So that's kind of a stretch in thinking, but that's what the lawyers tend to do. So we're looking, I made a mistake and I referred to Colleen Wetter as a doctor. She's actually a lawyer, and she does double duty as general counsel for the Dental Association in college, and also she's acts as complaints director. So she's acting for, supposedly protecting the public, acting to protect the council, acting to supposedly help dentists, and supposedly go after dentists. So it's a rule that to me is a bit of an extreme conflict of interest. And then she was involved as counsel to the ad committee, and the ad committee revised the rules and did not revise the rules depending on what they were thinking. So if she was the legal counsel for the ad committee but also prosecuting cases in advertising, do you think that would be a concern of bias? That wasn't addressed, and Dr. Huff, who was the committee chairman, he picked a bunch of former or president's kids, dentist kids, to be on the ad committee, and he didn't even vet them. So when you looked at their websites, there were loads of violations after they were on the committee. So you would think they would have had the chance to know what was going on and change things. So anyway, we're doing an overall little blurb on quicker treatment. So supposedly, it's if you're orthodontist, you don't get picked on too much, but unfortunately, the orthodontists have not avoided this problem. So the most recent decision, as talked about earlier, was January 22nd. We've got a dentist, orthodontist, I should say, advertising faster treatment with his name in brackets. He's got a suspension and fines over all this stuff. And why did they pick on him? We got to ask that. Is there anyone else advertising quicker treatment? Oh, here we go. We've got a former council member, Dr. Carlisle's website. He is talking about same kind of thing. What is it? Here it is. Damon Brackets, same brand. And sorry, just flip-flopping here a bit. Damon Brackets. Damon Brackets, state-of-the-art braces, less friction, provide quick and more gentle tooth movement. Well, that is, again, not in agreement with what the studies are tending to show, but again, here you have a nice orthodontist that's close to retirement. He was on the council, and he's advertising exactly what the orthodontist that got in trouble was advertising. So, they just pick on one person. So that's an example of selective prosecution. Let's go with a few other examples. So here's a course on accelerated orthodontics. So this one was at the American Association of Orthodontists annual convention, probably in 2015. So this is not a new topic. There's lots of that. What else do we find? Okay, if we go to a website of an orthodontist in Edmonton, she's advertising accelerated orthodontic treatment. Says that they do something that makes it 50% faster. Let's see, what else do we have here? We've got a seminar at another recent orthodontist convention, maybe a couple years ago. This one is an orthodontist mentioned in another video where the article was discussed. This article here. where is he? There he is. So he's the one that's talking about that salesmen don't always discuss the truth, and companies actually exaggerate whether their treatment is fast or not. So that's a good seminar to keep us all critical. Let's see, what other things do we have here? Oh, here's a course just happened in Vancouver as discussed, and this is the one that the Alberta Dental Association in college is giving credit for it. It talks about ultrasound orthodontics, so it accelerates tooth movement and provides less root resorption risk. So that means the roots are going to shorten less if you use this ultrasound device. Now, don't you think if you're a patient you should be free to know this information? No, this is Alberta. They don't care about what patients should know. They care about not revising the rules because they spent 10 years trying to tell dentists to no, you can't talk about faster treatment. No, the lawyers don't want you to talk about that. Sorry. What else? So we've got rules you can't violate because they don't want to be wrong. Then you've got different things, like as mentioned, you've got kiosks where you can go get your treatment online without even seeing someone in person. So they send you the molds and you do your own treatment. So that's a little bit weird, but here we go. Now we go to different websites I might have referred to. Let's look up, if we just Google ultrasound in orthodontics, there's a whole pile of studies on them. And so there's the company that talks about the ultrasound orthodontics. And you can read all about that if you just look up and Google that system. They'll talk about speed, safety, and stability. So it it facilitates faster tooth movement and decreases orthodontically induced root resorption. So those are pretty important. Again, why are we beating up dentists and orthodontists for advertising quick treatment? I don't know, but here we go. We go back to that Damon advertising in the UK. Was the Damon company was attacked for talking about faster and less painful treatment. Why does Alberta attack the one orthodontist or 18 orthodontists or whatever? We already referred to all those poor orthodontists that had to change their advertising because somebody didn't like it. Now we go to the website held by the Alberta Society of Orthodontists, and they look at themselves as what? They're the guardians of the profession. So they're looking out for everybody, but when one of them gets caught doing things, they all run and hide. They don't support each other. So if you scroll down their courses, what topics are they talking about? Oh, I don't know, all kinds of different things, but there's something about quicker treatment here somewhere. Here we go. What is accelerated orthodontics? Why should you care? This one's put on by Propel, and whether Propel works or not, that's not my problem. That's a matter of, are you comparing the different products to see which ones are good, which ones aren't. I think that's probably enough torture for one day, right? No, let's do some more torture. We can go through their little list of drop-down menus and bring up orthodontic, accelerated orthodontic treatment. I think we can bring up the braces page, and we can scroll down and talk about that. There's the note about controversy, about superiority of different brackets. We've already talked about the ADA talking about advertising of Damon brackets, saying they do speed treatment and then saying they don't speed treatment. And if you're a general dentist, you can't say you're quick. If you're a specialist, now you sometimes can say you're quick, other times you can't. The orthodontist who is working with AVO is probably nominated for an award at the Dental Association in College, Alberta Dental Association in College. So they're likely going to give him an award and give people credits for his courses, and yet on the flip side, they're going to let the lawyers go in the back room and beat up orthodontists and general dentists and milk them for hundreds of thousands of dollars, literally, just to say you can do it, but you just can't advertise it because boy, that makes you look like you're superior. So they're really getting bogged down with over interpretation of the rules, and actually we caught the president of the Alberta Association of Orthodontists, and he was advertising quick treatment, accelerated orthodontics, but then when we called him on it, he suddenly took it all off his website and didn't want to respond. So it's really strange how you can find people wanting to complain about you, but then when they're caught doing the same thing, then they just run and hide. So anyway, it's a funny world out there. I'd say be very careful about if you actually do have a concern with the Alberta Dental Association College. They're not going to help you because they're wasting their time with dentist websites and things like that. It's a total waste of time.